Hello, Survivor! My name is Bean, and today I'll go over all the spawn locations in Livonia along with points of interest and other tips and tricks. When you spawn in, your character will always be facing north. You can use road signs, train stations, and other points of interest to figure out where you are. All the spawn points in Livonia are in the north, mainly around the towns that are dotted along the river. But not all spawns are in viewing distance of the towns. If you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, keep an eye out for power lines, trail paths and dirt roads, as these will always lead to towns. The river spans the width of the map from west to east, or east to west. There is a train track that runs parallel along the south side of the river until it reaches a town called Topolin, where it cuts over the river to the north. Just like Chinaris, there are multiple spawn points around each location, so we'll start off with the western spawns and make our way east. It's worth noting that Livonia is fluent in Polish, meaning you will be able to read all the signs. Bielawa is a small town in the northwest. It's a less travelled town, so you should be able to find enough supplies to get your adventure started if you end up spawning here. There is a large church in the centre of town and a trail map that will display exactly where you are with a big red dot, along with 2 wells and a hunting shop. Following this road out of Bielawa will lead you to our next possible spawn area. Topolin is a large town on the west side of the map with sections of the town on either side of the river. The north side is more of an industrial farm area. There is a water tower next to this large grey tin barn and a few other barns next to the road that will take you in and out of Topolin to Bielawa, whereas the south has all the buildings you're going to need to find the basic supplies to get you going. There is a red and white chimney stack next to the bridge that crosses over the river, a PD, 2 wells, a trail map, 3 hunting shops, a fire station, a medical and a military HQ building, along with a large church at the top of the hill on the southern side of town. The train tracks cross over the river here from the south side to the north side of the river. Radacz is just east of Topolin. You will see this water tower next to 2 barns. If you follow the trail path past the water tower this way, it will lead you to the main road where you will see the rest of the town on your right. Here you can find a hunting cabin, a well and a trail map, along with plenty of houses to loot. Lukow is north of the river. There is a large farm area in the north with a water tower. In the centre of town there is a large church, 2 wells, a PD, a trail map and a medical. If you follow the main road south out of town, it will lead you to Gliniska airfield. The airfield, however, is a static radiation zone. You will need a full NBC suit to venture into the toxic gas. There is also a group of bunkers you can loot that spawn military loot. Take this dirt path next to the well that's opposite the PD and the church. Following this route will take us to our next possible spawn location. Gliniska is south of Lukow and sits on the north side of the river. There is a large farm area on the east side of town, along with 2 wells, a trail map, a medical, and a church on the southern side of town. If you look to the north of town, you will be able to see Gliniska airfield. From the centre of town, at the trail map, you will see Copa Prison off in the distance up on the hill. To get to Copa Prison, follow this road south past the medical. There are 3 bunkers you can loot on the way up to the prison. They are just off the right hand side of the road in the trees. Be cautious if you decide to venture to Copa Prison though. There is a lot of zombies and people like to build bases here. Brena is on the north side of the river. There are a couple of military containers and a tent next to the gas station on the south side of town. In the centre of town, you'll see a large church, a trail map, 2 wells and a PD. If you follow the road south out of Brena with the military tents at the gas station on your right, it will lead you to our next possible spawn location. Sobotka is south of the river. There is a well and a hunting shop. If you follow this dirt path out of town, it will lead you up to a military area called Sitnik. If you stay on the main road that heads south out of town, you will see a few bunkers on either side of the road, along with Copa Prison on your right off in the distance. Kolembrody is a small town east of Brena, and is essentially the Kamishovo of Livonia. There is a well, a trail map, and a small military area. If you follow this road south out of town, it will take you to a large town called Tarnow. There are 2 wells, a fire station, a PD, hunting shop, and a medical here. Grabin sits on the south side of the river, but there is a small industrial area with a military tent on the north side of the river. In the main part of town, there are 2 wells, a PD, a hunting shop, trail map, and a medical. There is also a large church that sits along the river next to the bridge that crosses over to the industrial area. Sitnik sits on the far eastern side of the map. There is 2 wells, a PD, a trail map, a large church, a military tent at the gas station, a hunting shop, a medical, 3 hunting cabins, and a military HQ in the large farm area opposite the gas station. On the northern side of town, there is a small summer camp with 5 hunting cabins and 2 sheds. If you follow the main road south past the gas station out of town, you will eventually pass this large industrial area, and just behind it you will see a castle on the hill. You can also follow the train tracks from the summer camp going south to a ruined town called Radacz. There is a lot of military buildings here, and it is a hotspot for PvP, so approach here with extra caution if this is the route you find yourself taking. A A lot of the spawns at Sitnik may be in the open fields to the north of town, like near this island with the single shack. Just look for the large power lines and follow those until you see the town slightly off to your right in the distance. I hope this video helps you out. If it did, slap the subscribe button, click the ding dong and give it a like.